Well, here we are again, driving inspector success number 31. Man, I'm not sure I ever thought I'd get to 31, Just came back from one of the most incredible conferences in our industry. It's nice to see our industry getting back on track by people coming together and being there. Hopefully, COVID is out of our system now and we can get back to a normal, if you could say that in the inspection world, a normal life. All right. And I actually was kind of surprised because I saw some people going to conferences is a waste of time. Going to this sort is a waste of time. I can get all the CEUs online for free. Well, of course you can. Getting CEUs is like a bonus when you go to these conferences. It's really as much as anything else. And I will tell you that all of my friends, one of the best things they say is, man, it's the expo hall. It's the exhibitors. It's the vendors. I like to call them sponsors at my show and everything. And what we want to try to do is try to make sure that you see the latest, greatest thing in whatever it is coming, right? And man, I know that the world is not really ready for what's coming. They don't get it. And by the way, I love to tell you, beware the 95%, because here's one of the biggest things about the 95%. They don't like change. They don't want to change. In fact, the only kind of change they want is, how do we not have to do as much as we used to do? Isn't that weird? I mean, I know you probably don't think that way. You know I don't think that way. But how can we do less than what we used to do and it still be acceptable? And so that's really what the world has come to in so many ways. And so one of the things that Mission 24 last year, we literally had 4 presentations on AI. I have been watching AI now for years. And I'm going to tell you that I was kind of surprised because I talked to a lot of the vendors and everything, and they go, oh, yeah, we have AI. Oh, yeah, we have AI. But nobody's really talking about it. Nobody's really pushing it. And then I heard one conversation where somebody went, oh, yeah, we have this integrated into our system. And I went, what is that system? I went, I hunted it down, I found it, I have talked with those folks. We are now building it into our inspection company in different ways, and we are getting ready to push that and take it to a whole new level. And we're going to be introducing it at our conference, Mission 25. And if you're not set up to be there yet, go out to homeinspectormission.com, homeinspectormission.com, and get set up. Come join us. Nobody out there is trying to tell you what's coming around the corner. It's as if they can't see it. I have this weird ability. I see 20 years in the future. I blame my dad completely for it. By the way, I'm on my way to go see my dad today. So many of you said and asked about him. Thank you for that. I'll let you know tomorrow how he's doing, okay? I haven't been there for 3 or 4 days because I was at the conference. But my dad always used to say, well, son, you'll understand better in 20 years. Well, he started telling me that when I was 20, right? And then by 30, I was going, oh, okay. By 40, I was going, oh, I understand now, because that was 20 years. And now 50, and now 60. And here I am, 65. And I'm going to tell you, one of the coolest things that I learned about my dad was he had that ability to be able to see into the future as well. I mean, we were driving down the road one day, and he went, you know what I really want is for us to be able to do a computerized report on site. This was 87, by the way, when he said this. And I went, well, I could put the computer into place, but how would you possibly put the power to run a computer in a car? I said, what are we going to do? Run an extension cord from the house down to the car? And he went, is that all you need is power in a car? And I went, well, that's the first thing we need. And he went, well, I could do that for you. And sure enough, he did. And this was long before inverters, okay? We literally bought generators. They were smaller, but generators that ran off of the car and supplied electricity for our computers. And in 1988, you know what's the funny thing about this is? I tell people 1988, and I have a lot of people going, man, I wasn't even born yet. Man, I am beginning to feel old when I hear that shit, okay? But, I wasn't even born yet. But in 1988, we started doing computerized reports on site, and we've never looked back, right? What I find really weird is that when technology changes, people call it a fad. And beware the 95% when they call something a fad. Oh, that's just a fad. That's not going to be around for very long. Oh, you know what? TV, that's just a fad. You know, they said that about TV, right? Oh, that's just a fad, right? Oh, the internet. Oh, that's just a fad. You know, they said that, right? Internet's just a fad. And people were saying, oh, AI, yes, we understand that it's coming and that it's going to get integrated, but it doesn't affect me personally. I'm not going to be able to use it personally. It's too big of a thing, right? Man, when internet came along, I was one of the first companies to have our company out there on the internet. Oh, you want to know another one? Fax machines. Oh, fax machines are just a fad. Even my dad said, son, come on. The only way fax machines work is if other people have them. And if they don't have them, then it doesn't work. I remember spending $600 for our first fax machine. Turned out that all the mortgage companies, all the title companies, all the real estate offices had one, right? And so we were able to start just shipping out reports and termite reports and stuff like that to them. Most home inspectors didn't have it. Most home inspectors didn't have it. What will you not have in 2 years from now if you don't learn about this AI? What will you not have? And you'll probably be going, oh, well, it's not that big a deal. Oh, I'll do it. And what drives me absolutely crazy is when I see some Yahoo on Facebook go, well, I don't need to go to a conference. Well, conferences are just a waste of time. Just think about how much money you lost by going to that conference. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? Every time I go to a conference, one of the things I'm looking for is what's my $10,000 idea per year. Now, that's the way I used to look at it 40 years ago. And then Krista, my oldest and brilliant child that she is, and I'd come back and go, here's our $10,000 idea. And now she comes back and goes, Dad, I want you to start looking for our $10,000 per month idea. And I went, wow, that's a challenge. And I did it. And I started coming back and go, here's our $10,000 per month idea. How can we do this and how can we do this? And here's the cool thing is, not all of the super cool people will go to this type of conference, but a lot of the super cool people will be there. And I run into people all the time and I ask them, so what are you doing now? What are you reading now? What are you studying? And that's the big thing I want you to understand is that you have to be studying. You have to be looking. You have to be willing to get that next piece in there. One of the things that I tell people, and we had a great speaker there. She was amazing. I love her. And one of the things she was talking about was how important your why is. Well, yeah, I've been teaching for like almost 35 years. Why plus how equals wow. Why plus how equals wow. And if you don't know your why, then you just have a tendency to look at the how. And the how is okay. But the thing is, you've got to know why you're willing to take your how and blow it up, make it bigger, make it better, make it take over to the whole next level. I used to work for a grocery store and I loved them. And they paid for me to go to college. And I gave them 11 years of my life in the 13 years that I spent in the grocery industry, right? I love these guys. But every day what I looked around was they were following everybody. They were not willing to innovate and be ahead of everybody. And I realized the handwriting was on the wall. They weren't going to make it because they were just following everybody. They weren't staying ahead of everybody. So I resigned and I went into business with my dad. I'm watching home inspectors do exactly the same thing. Now, if it's only you and you're happy and you've got enough business, and then maybe you can follow, but you won't probably be able to sell your business. You probably won't be able to really grow your business. You sure as heck won't be able to take it to the next level. You've got to be around people that are moving towards that next level. We had our best year ever in 2023, and then we beat it in 2024. In January and February, we are beating it again. And I sit and talk with folks like at this conference, and they're going, well, last year was pretty rough. And I'm thinking, why? Why was it rough? And I'm going to tell you, the reason it's rough is because they weren't continually working to get to the next level. So here's the thing is, AI is coming, and it is going to change everything. We thought the internet changed everything. Now multiply AI by 10 times because it's not going to be limited to the internet. It's going to be on our phones. It's going to be in our houses. It's going to be in our tools. It's going to be in our cars. I was driving on my way here today, and I keep a good distance behind people and everything, and the person in front of me just slammed on the brakes. And I went to slam on the brakes as well, and my car had done it already. My car braked for me before I did. It was only a hair ahead of me, but it was ahead of me. And if I hadn't been paying attention, it would have been way ahead of me. Where is AI going to affect your world? It's going to affect everything in your world. It's going to affect everything. I told people that within 5 years, we won't have client coordinators. We won't have client coordinators because AI will answer the phones for us, and it'll probably do a better job than we do as humans. My car was faster than me on the braking. I'm a pretty damn good driver. Trust me. My dad was a commercial driver. He taught me how to drive. I drive anywhere from about 3,000 miles a month when I was, an inspector. I'm a good driver. I haven't had an accident in so long I can't even remember the last one. Here's the thing is, AI is going to change everything, and it's not going to be limited to the internet. It's going to change our tools. It's going to change everything. Now, here's what I want you to know. At Mission 25, we're going to talk a lot about AI. At Mission 24, we have 4 topics talking about AI. And we're going to create a presentation that we give to those people so that they can go talk to real estate agents, mortgage companies, title companies about AI and what is coming. And you need to be on top of this. I wrote something down. Will you be ready for what's coming? The 95% will not. And as things change, okay, I'll change this. Oh, that changed, I'll change this. Let's get ahead of the curve. So we built our business and blew it up because we did computerized reports on site, by the way, in 1988. We started doing termite inspections long before home inspectors anywhere else really started doing that. We started answering phones and setting it up. We put in a backup call center. We have done one thing after another to stay ahead of the curve of change in this industry. You need to make it to Mission 25. Let us show you what you probably maybe have heard about, maybe you've seen other people, but you think it's not that big a deal, and help change you. By the way, that grocery company I worked for, they didn't make it. They pulled out a few years later, and then they all went back to their hometown, and they're still out there, but they're not as big as they were. And other companies, though, blew up. And I mean, now you've got Walmart, now you've got Amazon, now you've got all of these other companies. They didn't exist back then. But I was able to see that all that was coming. And think about this. At the grocery store, it's kind of like gas stations, right? Now we just basically ring everything up ourselves. Wow. Are you ready for what's coming? You need to be. And you need to be sitting around other people that are seeing and talking about what's coming as well. So that is why you need to be at Mission 25. So homeinspectormission.com, homeinspectormission.com. And by the way, I'm kind of spreading this out, not just from the inspection, but what I call my high five, and that's family. What are you doing to make sure your family is ready for the curve change? What are you doing to make sure that every other part of your life? So my high five is family, faith, financial, fitness, and fun. And by the way, what's coming, especially with even AI, is affecting our fitness. Look at these devices where you literally have somebody that can talk with you while you work out. Okay? My son has signed up for one of those. It's kind of fun watching how all that works. Will you be ready for what's coming? I hope so. I hope so. The best way to do that is to be around other people that are working on it all the time. So I like to tell you, be successful and be around those that are successful. And because the more money we make, the more people we can help. That financial piece, I will tell you, we're going to talk about 3 or 4 things at Mission 25 that I'm doing to make myself financially free in the future, but not just me, my family as well. All of my kids understand, and we have family meetings about what we're doing to take it to that level. And we're going to share that with you at Mission 25. Hey, go out to homeinspectormission.com and come join us at Mission 25. I do have one webinar left. And by the way, if you were on the last webinar, right as I got to the end, the whole internet thing blew up, right? And I lost everybody. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for that. However, I've got one webinar left that I'm going to be doing before Mission 25. So go out to coachblueprint.com/Zoom, coachblueprint.com/Zoom, and then come out and see what I can teach you about 7 startling secrets to make your business better. I'm going to be literally changing your whole mindset and how you approach some things and teaching you about our Big Bang marketing and all of that. And then I'm going to be making the number one best offer I have for you to be able to join us at our Dream Team coaching level and get the Big Bang marketing and be able to come to Mission 25, all of it wrapped into that little webinar. You're going to get great information, rubber meets the road type of information, and you're going to get offer after offer to be able to do all this. And it's just going to be the best offer I have ever made, okay? And I hope that it'll allow you to be able to come join us at Mission 25. Well, I've got to run. I pulled over to do this. And one guy gave me a hard time. He said, stop driving and doing these. And every now and then I go, maybe he's right. And after I had to hit the brakes this morning, I went, maybe I'll do this one without driving. But I will be doing them again in the future. And if it bothers you, I apologize. So many things I do bother people. Yeah, you'll get over it. And sometimes you won't. And I tell people a lot of times, get over it. All right. Success can be messy. I just don't want to have my bumper to bumper effect this morning while I'm doing this. Hey, you guys have a great day. Have a great day. Come join us at Mission 25. It's guaranteed to change your life. It's guaranteed to change your life. No other conference has guarantees like what I do because we've just seen how it works for so many people. HomeInspectorMission.com. Go join us today. And this is Mike Crow with Driving Inspector Success number 31. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.